So this is an observation with Jodie Mason on the 11th of the 10th, 2016. Jodie, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jodie Mason.
Excellent. Okay, so we're talking about social media today. Talk me through, firstly, the channels that Creative Alliance mainly use in social media.
As in Facebook, Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, not as often as we should, YouTube, and I want to start Snapchat soon.
Okay. So what do we mainly use? What are our big ones?
Facebook and Twitter.
And probably mainly Facebook as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's kind of, we've changed a little bit of how we do Facebook at the moment. What's kind of been the aims over the last sort of 4 or 5 months that we've tried to be doing?
Well, we're using more content-heavy things to try and get the digital marketing training services being sold.
Yeah.
So we've been using blogs and video content, or clips from the webinars, pushing them.
And has it been successful?
I think it's been quite successful. Some of them haven't worked too well, like the videos, just as in the logistics of it, not the actual content. I've been having some trouble with that. Nothing's loading, so I can't show you anything.
Yeah, go on Insights.
But yeah, they've been reaching probably about 400 or 500 people at a time. The engagement's gone up, pretty much everything's gone up.
Okay.
Which I could show you, but I can't.
Yeah. What were you doing before? What were some of the things that we've, so it's content heavy, but what were some of the biggest issues that was happening with the social media beforehand?
There was no sort of regularity of it. It was just as and when we found something or a vacancy was struggling, so we just shoved something up, we're not really looking and not really using hashtag or tagging people, not using the right images, I guess. And now we use scheduled posts and try and... Oh, here we go.
Okay, so describe this page. What's this do?
Okay, so this is Insight, so you can go back as long as you want, last 7, 28 days. You can export it. It shows you whether it's organic or paid posts. You can see here from, was that last week, that the page has increased by 131%. Everything's pretty much in the green except the likes.
Which likes tends to go up and down, doesn't it? We'll do one post and suddenly that'll just fly through, yeah.
It depends if you're trying to engage with anyone as well and target people.
As long as they're always going up.
The right way.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at the last sort of 10 posts, I know obviously we're dealing a bit with poop internet. What can you notice? What trends can you see in terms of the successful ones and the non-successful ones?
So you can see the videos, like the little snippets from the webinars, which are about a minute long. And it introduces who Creative Alliance are a little bit, who the person doing the webinar is, and what it's about. We also try and tag them if they're on social media as well. They're getting quite a lot of hits as well. The videos have got a lot of views, they've got the most engagement. And also these trickler posts that we've been doing are getting... Bring it up
so describe them as content. What was the reason that you came up, or we came up with that?
It's kind of split into 3 sections. So there's the sell, the what is it. This is when we had the 25% discount off as well, which was not long ago. But it's just really eye-catching as well.
And what's good about it as well, it's not just... It's eye-catching, but also it's...
Selling.
Yeah, but what about the colours?
Oh, our colours.
Yeah.
The Creative Alliance colours. So
it's on brand as well.
Branding, yeah.
What do you think is important about putting content out on Facebook? What do you think we are doing well, and what do you think we could do better?
I think maybe sometimes we're a bit repetitive with what we say and how we say it.
Yeah.
Probably start to sound a bit cliche and boring after a while, but I think what worked well as well was when we had the 25% off. I think that was something to focus on, and you could kind of arrange it around that. Whereas if you don't have sort of an offer or anything, it's just saying the same thing like freelancers, so you want a creative, blah, 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 and it's kind of the same thing, so it just looks like the same post with a different picture, sometimes not even with a different picture.
Let's say realistic targets over, and also I think some of it was a bit about just getting it consistent. So
Yeah.
you know, I think now we're all like, what's going out on social media, aren't we?
Yeah.
So now it's a bit like, okay, how can we mix it up? So what would you do to mix it up a little bit?
I think I quite like a lot of the video content. I think that's really engaging. I think people like a bit of a snippet, and I think the way it's been edited as well kind of wants you to watch the whole webinar, because obviously you only get about a minute of it, and the webinar's about 20 minutes. I think it takes, I'll get bored quite easily, so if I watched a minute, I'll be like, oh, where can I find out the rest of that? So I think that's quite good. I think that's why we've got quite a lot of engagement in it. Recently started doing more blog posts as well, which are a bit clickbaity, so like, but you didn't know these 7 celebrities or apprentices or something, but I think that is reaching the younger audience, whereas at the moment we've been so heavily targeting the training courses to be sold that we probably lost a bit of youth engagement, I guess.
What's the difficulty with Creative Alliance in regards to the audiences that they need to attract?
Well, we've got 3 different audiences. We've got more of a corporate audience with the training services. We've got a young audience who is for apprenticeships and traineeships, and then we've got employers. So yeah, having to try and target 3 people at one time, essentially, or keep up. I don't know, I reckon we should probably start doing a day a week targeting each one of our audience.
Why do you think that would? I don't disagree at all, but why do you think that might be good?
Because maybe it'll start getting into a routine, and you can start seeing who's actually looking at it, so the insights will be more relevant.
Yeah.
I guess.
So when we review over the stats, don't we?
Yeah.
We'll be actually able to see which is working best.
Yeah, and who really is looking at our stuff, I guess.
How about other businesses? Do you ever look at how other businesses market and things like that?
Yeah, not so much on Facebook, because I don't know, I think that the creative industries heavily use Twitter. A lot, and I don't think Facebook's kind of I think people use their personal Facebooks more in the creative industries to use their own personal links. So say, I don't know, take Anissa from Beat Fruits. If she's got an event coming up, you notice that you don't really post much on Beat Fruits Facebook, but she'd post it on her own personal one saying, hey, any creatives want to get involved in blah blah, then check out, and then just use her own personal links instead of the actual company page.
Yeah.
But Twitter, I think people use Twitter a lot, and Instagram's starting to become quite a big thing with the creative industry. But I think Instagram's hard for us because of what we do. We don't have enough kind of eventy sort of things to promote, and posting vacancies on there. It worked, but it's really difficult to do on Instagram, because obviously you can't put a link in the description, you just can't put it in the bio, and if you want to change it, it's got too many links. But this is why I want to start introducing Snapchat. I think Snapchat's really cool to get young people on board. A lot of people use Snapchat, and even if you don't want to watch someone's story on Snapchat, you still watch it because it just goes down, and you can do a day in the life of an apprentice, or there's loads of little things you could do on there.
So there's more sort of content on there. Why do you think you were only asked to kind of concentrate on Facebook to start off with?
Because we needed some sort of one platform that we used instead of dabbling in a few. We need something to start getting consistent, to show that we're actually bothering, instead of just casually reposting someone else's or sharing a post that someone's emailed to ask us to, because it wasn't for us, it was for them. So our whole Facebook was just other people's companies, and it was nothing for us.
So what do you think success would look like in Facebook for us? Or do you think we're starting to look at what success looks like?
Well, considering from January time, we were reaching about 6 people with it, 6 or 9 people, to now to about 90, and our videos are getting about 500. Then you can quite clearly it's been a lot more successful. I mean, there's things that we can look into. Obviously, there's always time for improvement, and
Why is it important to keep looking at the stats and things like that?
see what's working well, and to see where you're improving, and maybe where's not improving, and what you can change about that.
When we've looked at them, what's it? What have we ended up doing? Because we've quite refined it, haven't we? We're not getting any super duds, are we?
Oh no. What was your question?
Sort of, kind of, yeah. I suppose you've answered it. Really, it's not a great question. Yeah. Okay, last one. So you talked about wanting lots of content and things like that. Why is content better than maybe just a plain sell?
Plain sales a bit boring, and I think even though our audience is employers and young people, a lot of our employers are really young or have really young companies. Like, a lot of them are startups as well, or in their first couple of years. So apprenticeships are a cheaper option where they can be mentored because it's a small company and it's more cost effective, isn't it?
Yeah.
So our employers are still quite young anyway. So even though we do have really different audiences, still 16 to 25. A lot of the directors and stuff are 25. Do you know what I mean? So.
Okay. Final one. If we're looking into Twitter.
If we were looking.
No,
Twitter,
we are looking into Twitter, aren't we? That's our next thing to do, isn't it? What targets do you think we should put forward for ourselves, and why?
Well, we already have quite a lot of followers on Twitter. Like, compared to our Facebook, we have a ridiculous amount of followers, and we have a lot of engagement on Twitter, and we find a lot of quite a few employers come through Twitter as well, because we get tagged in a lot of things by like Birmingham Arts Council, because when they tag a lot of creative employers, or the Custard Factory tag us in quite a lot, and the Custard Factory brings in quite a lot of new followers and things like that. And everyone helps out on Twitter. So if you just tag people in something that they might be interested in, like theatres, like with vacancies and things, and other theatres, it is really good to network on Twitter, I guess.
So a set target.
So probably, I don't know, post like, I don't know. I think you can post quite a lot in a day on Twitter.
Yeah, but it would be good if we maybe posted at least one thing a day.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
But we don't at the moment, do we?
No, we do share a lot and retweet a lot on there.
But I don't think there's a target. There's no strategy, is there?
No, I think we should post about 3 things a day.
I agree. Okay. And then... Okay, that's fine.